Beetlejuice.
The juice is loose. I'm gonna make you so happy.
Hey guys, Amora here, and today just came back from watching Beetlejuice, and wow, this was a interesting movie to say the least, or at least sequel, because the first one that came out a long time ago now, called Just Beetlejuice, was actually a fantastic movie. It was great. It fired on all cylinders. It was intriguing. It was unique. It had many quirks that it had that just worked in the first one. But the second one definitely had its problems. Sure, I actually had a good time with this movie. I did laugh a lot. This was a good movie in terms of just the small parts. But I think as a story, it did falter a bit. It wasn't focused. It didn't know what villain was gonna be the villain or even an antagonist at all. It was kind of juggling who was next as the bad person of the film. We had like 3, 4 villains almost, sort of, and none of them really affected the movie by the end as hitting as it should have. But my favorite parts were still definitely Beetlejuice. He was still fantastic in this. The visuals were also great. Some of the callbacks, not many, but a few, were were great actually. The music was great as well. I liked every time they had music in it as a implementation was really great. And then the characters are like Lydia coming back. She was fun. I liked her. And then Jen Ortega as Astrid. She was also really great. Although she, for me, was definitely one of the storylines I thought I was gonna hate the most because this started off with a as a love interest with this one guy, which is one new character in the story, uh, and I was not liking the direction that was headed until they had that switcheroo and whole ordeal that did kick off a lot better as the story kept ramped up from there. And that's where I think the movie really started to get its grip for me because the beginning was definitely a struggle to watch. It was still funny. The callbacks were great, but it was definitely struggling where it wanted to go. And it still struggled by the end with William Dafoe's character. Sure, he was quirky and fun at times, but like, why was he there? Really? I mean, even in the movie itself, he was just an actor, not an actual cop. So it was kind of just there to be there. And it's like, sure, buddy. And then the ex-wife of Beetlejuice was also, I thought that was gonna be the main character, the main villain, but she was like a throwaway completely by the end of the movie. So like, why were we following her anyways? It was just like thrown in. Too many characters were thrown in, and the fiance of Lydia was also just there too. Well, he was more in the beginning, which again was the part where I was like, "Oh no, this is not good, not good at all." But he just goes away until he comes back at the end. Still annoying, but sure, right? He was supposed to be the annoying character anyways, so whatever. But like we had more than just him, so it was just piling up at that point. But I did laugh. I was entertained, and every time Beetlejuice was actually in it, which wasn't much, which was great, and Bob was a favorite for sure. Favorite character was Bob, other than Beetlejuice, and he was great, hilarious. What were those little shrink heads, man? They were funny. Like the jokes, most of them I actually enjoyed. The crowd, with the people I was with, They had a good time. They were laughing. I laughed a bit. Uh, but it had its problems. It wasn't focused enough. There was problems that I don't know if I mean it almost took the landing. It still sort of did, but I still had like a little that okay. And by the end, and I just wish there was just more to it, you know, which sucked because the first movie just overall package was just great through and through. The motivations were there for every character. Its purpose was there. It was focused when it wanted to be focused. The second one just wasn't, sadly, you know? And it looked great though. It looked great. We explored more of the undead world, which I wanted in the first one. And I'm glad we got a little more in this one. A little more fleshed out. Not enough too though at the same time. Like, I wish we went even further than what we got in this one. But I'm glad we went further in. But other than that, yeah, it was just a little unfocused with its storylines in between overall, you know? Uninspired, really, as a second movie. Trying to do its best, but not really. As a Beetlejuice movie, it worked with when Beetlejuice was there. Oh, it was hilarious. It was back like the first movie. But besides him, it was kind of well. Do you like this storyline or do you like this one the more? Pick your choosing. It wasn't. Yeah. Other than that, I would recommend it. I mean, clearly, it's pretty entertaining for sure. That I could give it that. It's definitely an entertaining movie. I would watch it again because it was funny. It just actually was a good movie personally. But as a critic, yeah, if you think too hard, the whole movie kind of falls apart. You gotta just choose the best of the worst in uh, the whole story, the whole movie. But other than that, I did had a good time, genuinely. So for that, I will have to give this an 8. No, 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 not an 8. Hold on, too high. Whoa, a 6, a 6 out of 10. Yeah, it definitely had its problems. I'm only giving it that high of a rating because I was entertained. I did laugh, and I did like some of the characters in the movie. Other than that, the story, its motivation, its direction, it was really weak. Visually, it was also pretty good. The sets being practical and everything was fantastic to see. Like again, it does some good things, but it really falters by the end. So hopefully that's what I think. Yeah. All right. So until then, I'm alright. Out.